Hi, welcome to Doug's Den of Discussion. So this one, President's Day, is connected to the previous one, the holidays, where I touched on the holidays between public workers and private workers, and everybody seems to get sort of different holidays off, and some get, you know, some get Election Day off, some don't. Some get Veterans Day off, some don't. And it's a very strange disconnection with: are we honoring our past? Are we honoring these days? You can't really have a national holiday where it's like, meh, yeah, we got to make a buck. You got to work, you know. And some businesses have to stay running, but we need to acknowledge that. Okay, you got to pay your workers, whatever. Um, so there's all sorts of holidays that again public employees get off and private employees don't, and private employees often get 8 or 10 holidays off a year. Um, for instance, Martin Luther King Jr. Some people get off, some don't. Right. So what are we doing with ourselves? So fast forward to this podcast, President's Day. When I was a kid, there was no President's Day. There was Lincoln's birthday, and we had that off as children, and there was Washington's birthday, and we had that off as children. And now we have just something lumped together called President's Day. Now, let me ask you this: whatever political opinion you have, I don't really care. President's Day, like I'm sure you think there are some good presidents and some you think are garbage, whatever. All presidents are not created equal, is what I'm getting at here. So to just say President's Day, it really dilutes and waters down the thrust of what the hell it means to sometimes be a president, to be the badass that Washington was, or the balls that Lincoln had. Right? You're not going to. Well, Lincoln was I'm sorry, Nixon was a president, or you might think ill of Clinton or Trump or whomever or Bush. You know, all presidents are not created equally, and so we don't really consider them equal either. You've been impeached. Well, we're not. We should we be honoring someone who's impeached? Probably not. And so President's Day waters down once again our national heritage. It combines these two holidays into a kind of a non-exciting, non about president. They're all presidents. It's very generic, right? President. But when you say Lincoln, that strikes a chord. When you say Washington, that strikes a chord. When you say Gerald Ford, not so much. And so this is the same problem when you have the disconnection between the public employees and the private employees. It's the same watering down of our heritage, watering down of what's important to us, and it disconnects us from our past. And so it's not about presidents. Who gives a crap? Most of them. Some of them suck. Let's be honest. Is leadership what it should be? No, but some of these men, FDR, guy had some balls on him. Social Security. I mean, these are big things. Eisenhower, great. Maybe we should say a few presidents in parentheses, not all. Because when you're watering down your heritage, you're watering down your thoughts, you're watering down history, and you're watering down the present as far as how do you honor yourself and your past. And it waters down so much that it goes, yeah, you should just work today. Don't worry about presidents. It's just a generic sounding thing anyway. But if you said Lincoln, that strikes a chord. Saying presidents doesn't strike a chord. It's like, who cares? I'm just going to go back to work here. So I had on a recent podcast of resiliency, same thing. How do we defend the sacred? How do we defend the sacred in ourselves, the sacred in our society, the sacred in our nation, the sacred in our neighbors? That's it. Be well. Love.